Welcome to LifeTalk with Mariette. I am Mariette. This show is about the life lessons that shape us, what I've learned, what I'm still learning, and how we grow through challenge, awareness, and purpose. I will share personal insights to motivate and inspire you, and sometimes invite guests who do the same. At its heart, LifeTalk is about real stories, real growth, and meaningful connection. This is LifeTalk with Mariette. Motivational, inspirational, full of heart. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to Life Talk with Mariette. I'm your host, Mariette Camera. The courage to live bold at any age is our topic tonight. There comes a moment in every life, whether you're 27 or 47, when you stop and ask yourself, is this really how I want to live? Not louder, not busier, not truer. We look in the mirror and realize we've been waiting to lose weight, to retire, waiting for permission, for the right time, for someone to understand us first before we let ourselves really live. To get into it deeper, I invited two of my friends, Gene Thompson. He's an artist, songwriter, and author. On the web, genethompsonsolution.com. And also Robert Adamo, entrepreneur and CEO of SEO Marketing Experts, NYC.com. Good evening, Gene, and good evening, Robert.
Good evening, Maria.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And let's start with Gene very quickly. Would you, for the audience who don't know you, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are?
Hi. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Gene Thompson. I currently live in Los Angeles, California, but I was born on the East Coast on the Jersey Shore, right there on the shore. I spent 22 years there, and then I moved to Los Angeles to further my music career, and I've been here ever since. I'm active in prison ministry at the church that I attend, and we go out at least 2 to 3 times a month, and we have services and counseling with the inmates there. And I'm a father and grandfather. I have a big family. I have about 14 grandchildren. And I'm very happy with my life. Very happy.
Yeah. And you have great accomplishments as a songwriter. And we get into that. We get into that a little later. Robert, how about you? If you would say a few words as to who you are.
Absolutely. I was also born on the East Coast, but raised in California for about 30 years in the San Fernando Valley there. And then by 30 or so, moved back to the East Coast in the New York, New Jersey area. Spent some time right on those same shores that you were born at, Gene. So just a couple decades later. But now currently in Connecticut, and enjoying the mountain air and the getting out of the city. I was pretty much raised and grew up in the big city, but now up in the mountains of Connecticut, where it's a little bit slower pace, so it's nice. And just working on my business and helping clients become successful.
Thank you, Robert. And a little bit about myself. I'm an entrepreneur of 41 years, 17 years of broadcasting, radio broadcasting. I'm a life and business coach. I'm a podcaster and have a magazine. So I've been very, very busy. And before we get started with the show, I make this short because otherwise I would take the whole hour. Before we get started, I have some announcements. First from our sponsor, Live Bold, Dream Loud. You were not meant to live small. At kmareducation.org, we help you to rediscover your voice and purpose. And it's never too late to live boldly. Whether you're 25 or 75, step into your power. Let us help you at kmareducation.org. And their telephone number is 203-505-3660. And I have another announcement here. If you love real conversations, personal growth, and bold living, then you're in the right place. Follow and like us on Life Talk with Mariette, where we dive into what matters the most. Visit on the web, lifetalkwithmarietta.com. Explore inspiring success stories and real business journeys on the Business Champion Show, and visit thebusinesschampion.com and on YouTube at The Business Champion Show. And for wellness, mindset, and soul healing insights, don't miss the Healing Mind magazine and visit thehealingmindmagazine.com. We stand for real stories, bold living, championing every voice, healing from the inside out. And I'd like you to like us, subscribe, and share. And most of all, be happy. So let's get going with the show. The courage to live at any age is our topic, and I'm your host, Mariette Camera. Living boldly isn't about taking reckless risks. It's about expressing your full self unapologetically, whether you're 27 or 74. Courage is a muscle we need to build, and it begins with everyday choices in how we live, eat, dress, speak, and be. So all three of us, we have two bachelors and one bachelorette. So what that means, we all live by ourselves. And I do have an animal, a cat, Ellie. So I'm going to ask some very bold questions tonight, because if we're trying to encourage you to live bold, you need to know a little more about us. So, okay, I prepared some questions, and here it goes. How do we feel about ourselves? So the question is, what if I don't feel confident? Can I still live boldly? And who would like to start, Robert or Jean?
Gene, go ahead. I'll give you this one first.
When I was younger, I was terrified of being old. I think a lot of people feel like that. When you're young, you look at older people and you go, "Oh, I don't want to, I don't want to go there." But I've learned as I got older, things are pretty good. And how I've done that is being able to keep myself busy and trying new things. Always, it's always important for me to try new things, and it's kind of kept me vibrant mentally. Marietta, what was your question again? I don't want to get off.
In other words, when people don't feel confident, can they still feel boldly at the same time? If they're not sure, if they believe, I really don't have courage. How can they feel boldly at the same time? And I just wanted to get your point of view on it.
Okay. You can feel boldly when you have confidence in yourself, and like I was previously saying, when you keep trying new things, keep talking to new people, never isolate yourself. Or for me, I never isolate myself and put myself in a position where I can't grow. I get out, I go to the gym, I talk to people everywhere I go, library, church, any social situation. And that helps stimulate my brain. It helps me to be more social, and it gives me more confidence. I feel like I'm contributing to social society, and it makes me feel really good. It makes me feel bold, and it helps me to know that I can do other things. And my mind is open to trying new things. Some things are scary. I don't want to do, but other things, I think you have to find what fits you in life, what your passions. And when you find those passions, you pursue them. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. So because the answer to, if you don't feel confident, can you still live boldly? The answer is no, because confidence, we need that confidence to grow in action. And this is exactly what you just explained. You explained that you take actions every single day. You mingle, you socialize, and everything. So that gives you more confidence every single day.
Absolutely.
So that is action, and it's one small step at a time. So, Robert, how do you go about it?
Well, I've been, I guess, living bold by those definitions for a while, since I started my own company back in 1997-ish area. But to make that bold move, I had to have the confidence that I could I could do it. And even though it was scary, at the time, I knew that becoming a web developer at that time, when it was a brand new industry, there wasn't a lot of competition. So it might have been easier. And I had a programming background and I knew computers pretty well. And I was a retail manager for 7 years previous to that. So I knew business and I knew retail and people. And so when I went to go make that bold move, I I had to have the confidence in myself, and it still was a slow transition. I probably worked part time for a year while I was still building my business and getting some clients and things like that. So sometimes if you can't take the risk completely, you have to find a way to take that risk a little bit at a time until you can let go of the past and pursue the future. But if you just stay stuck in, like, I'm always going to be in this, 9 to 5 job or whatever, then you'll always be stuck in that 9 to 5 job forever until you take a bold move. But you do have to, so you have to have the confidence in yourself. And I really liked what Gene said about pursuing your passion, because that's really the key. You can't be bold in something. I mean, you can be, but it's not necessarily going to work. But if you're bold in something that you're passionate about and that you really love doing, then you're 9 times out of 10 going to be much more successful and happier in the end. If you try to be bold and try to pursue a career in something you don't like, then you're not going to wake up every day with that same drive and ambition and desire as when something is your passion. So I really believe in that. And, you have to make the decision to put that first step forward, even though it's in the uncharted territory and future is unknown and all that kind of stuff. But you have to have faith in yourself, faith in God, or faith in whatever you believe in. But if nothing else, just faith in yourself that you can do this. And if you have trouble with that, then you have to take small steps along the way to build that confidence in yourself and that faith in yourself. And maybe that just means taking on one little part-time project, or, if you want to be a singer or something and you can't just break into the singing industry, at least go karaoke every Friday night or something, and get out there in different ways to build that confidence. But you definitely have to have confidence and passion
Right.
to pull off living bold.
Thanks,
Mariette,
Robert.
can I
Yes,
say one
yes, go
thing
ahead.
to add
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
what Robert said? And he mentioned, like, starting out when he started a new business over. And I feel what I got from that is when you start something, you got to be bold, but don't be afraid to fail,
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because failure, it's kind of good in a sense, because it gives you
Mm-hmm.
strength. It helps you. At least for me, when I fail, that makes me want to get up and power on even stronger. It makes me even bolder, because I say this thing is not going to beat me. I'm
yes,
Mm-hmm.
going to
yeah,
continue until I achieve what I said I was going to achieve. Even if it takes me my whole life, I'm going to do it. And
y-
that boldness, it gives you this useful feeling, because you have something to go
yes.
out there and I don't know if that
Yes,
makes
that's
sense.
the fire. Yes, it's the fire.
100%.
And we need that fire under our butts, that fuel. And boy,
Yeah.
we're going to do it. I know exactly what you're saying. And what's really good with me, if you really piss me off, then I can really do it. And you know how
Mm-hmm.
quickly I can do it then? Just piss me off. Just try me. Okay, let's go to the next question. It's about self love, and it's about, is it necessary to be bold? And allow me to answer that. Yes, without self love, boldness becomes performance. When you like yourself, even imperfectly, You stop needing permission. So, I'm going to make this very short. I started to work with a wonderful program, and this program gives me good guidelines as to what wardrobes I can pick and choose and what looks good for me, and then I can go out and buy it. And that gives me
Mm.
so much joy. And so the latest colors are yellow for me, magenta, blue, green, and another color. I can't think of it. But those are my colors now. So everything is around there. And it's really about branding. So I'm very busy and I'm very happy doing this, that I have this program as a guide. So, and automatically you feel great about yourself. You really, really do.
Yes.
That's all I want to say. I don't want to hog the whole show. So let's go on to the next question. And I have two bachelors here, Robert Adamo and Jean Thompson, and the bachelorette is moi. So how do we live at home? Why does our environment matter for bold living? Who wants to, let's go with Jean.
Environment at home. I think at home you should always keep a life-filled environment. I like plants, even though the cat and dog tore the plants up. Keep plants, nice plants in the house. A lot of lighting, a lot of light, because light just brings life to you.
Yes.
It makes you feel so alive when you open up your shades or your blinds over and let the light in. Keep lots of light, nice. I don't have a lot of dark colors around. Keep light colors, things that make you happy. And for whatever you do, don't clutter, because clutter to me it almost creates depression. I don't know, but for me, if I have a whole bunch of things cluttered around me,
Tchotchkes,
it makes me
right? Tchotchkes. You're talking about tchotchkes,
exactly.
These little knickknacks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that and anything like saving a bunch of old mail or a bunch of old clothes that you don't need, or things that you don't need, that you just pack around thinking that you're going to use it one day, but that day never comes. So keep a bright environment. Try to keep many things from around you, because if you have open space around you, you have open space in your mind. You have a
Yes,
clear
I love
thought.
that. Yes,
And
yes. Is that's
I
how your home is? What you're describing?
yeah, we don't
Describing
yeah,
your yeah.
yeah, I don't have we don't have a lot of things in here, and I like it like that, because it that space gives you mental space. You don't feel cluttered, because I notice my environment is almost a reflection of how I think, or the way it's going to make me think.
Mm-hmm.
And so I try to keep everything nice and spacey and airy with the nice colors. And also, my daughter, she got me into this. I like nice aromas in the place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a guy, but I still like nice aromas. So I would get the plugins or burn a candle. And she gave me this thing that's called a diffuser. And
Mm-hmm.
man, I put cinnamon in that thing, or I put vanilla. You won't believe how it changes the whole atmosphere in the place.
I love
Um,
that. Yes.
yeah, I mean, to have nice paintings around your house, things that you like, things that sharpens your mind, things that make you think, things that make you happy, pictures of your family, your wife, your kids, things that just bring life to you, anything that brings life. And wash the dishes. Because that too, if you have things around and everything is it's dirty, and it kind of brings you down too. So I notice when, at least with me, I can't speak for everyone, but when everything is in order, it kind of brings order to my mind, and that uh, kind of gives me a bold feeling. I feel like I can go out
Yes.
into the world and do things now, because everything in my inside environment is in order. And I think order has a lot to do with it. And when chaos is happening
Absolutely.
around you inside,
Absolutely.
it's
My
going to
bed
affect
is
you
always
outside.
made. The dishes are washed. The bathroom is picked up. There is never any smell in my bathroom, even though I keep a cat litter in there. It's an open
Mm-hmm.
cat litter, and I handle it just like an adult. When you go to the bed, it's right away. It's taken care of. I do that all the time. And many times I say I do nothing but changing diapers here because she's an older cat, and there are a couple of things that I need to do which normally I wouldn't have to, but she's a little older, so I take care. So I love a good smelling place. I air it out all the time. A lot of
Mhm.
people never open up their windows. I don't know how they do it. I don't have a trash can in my house. Everything
Me
that I have, um, I gather in the sink in a little container, and it goes
either.
right out. I have a huge deck here, facing the back of the house, and have a garbage can right around the corner from the house, and that's where it goes. So there are
Mhm.
no smells of anything. The beds are always made, so any of you can come in here, and it's clean. Everything's clean.
Mhm.
So, but I
Right.
work on this. I have my rhythm every single morning when I do it. So I may not brush my hair, but my bed is made. Everything is picked up. Everything. So I
Mhm.
love that. So Robert, I'd like to ask you. Well, what about if you can't afford to decorate and bold doesn't mean it has to be expensive, but a clean space, fresh flowers, and candle, just what Jean just said, is so important. How is it in your place? If we came to your knocking on your door now, how is your place? Come on, tell us. Let the cat out of the bag.
A complete wreck. No, it's it's hard for me being single because I'm running my business and I'm trying to manage everything. But like Gene says, you do definitely want to keep things spaced and nice, and dishes are done on a daily basis. I try to make it a point to have all the dishes done by the night, so that way, fresh in the morning, you're not faced with having to wash dishes and stuff just to make breakfast. But it's sometimes it can be overwhelming when you're by yourself and you have a full schedule and everything. But there's definitely a lot of credence to that because I remember even a friend of mine one time I was helping her, and they just had, it was like Christmas time, so there was an extra tree in the living room and boxes piled everywhere, and she was super stressed out. And I was just like, let me remove all this stuff that's just over here to your side. And she's like, oh, that's no big deal. I'm like, no, I feel like you are stressed because you're literally crowded in this little corner with all this stuff around you. And like as soon as I removed all that, and I'm like, don't you feel better now? She's like, actually, yeah, that's wow. Now, because she didn't, it's not conscious that you feel that clutter, but subconsciously you definitely do. And, I could do a better job at keeping everything up if I just had a little bit more time or had a little, you know, um, it's really for me, it's just about time because when I was younger, I did have a rule like you don't go to sleep. Like now, the rules just don't go to sleep with dishes in the sink. But
Exactly.
back in the day, it was like don't go to sleep until the house is like picture perfect. So every night at like 9:30, I'd start cleaning and fixing up the house for the day, and from the day, whatever, just picking everything up, making sure everything was perfect. And then life got busy. I had
Yeah.
to bring it down to just let's at least keep the sink clear on a daily basis. But I do have a roommate, and there's times he's got stuff in the sink for 2, 3 days, and it's like, come on, get gotta get a move on here because I gotta use the sink too and stuff like that. So it's but I like the idea, plants definitely, like you said, having plants is really good because not only does it take in the stale carbon dioxide and stale air and replace it with nice fresh oxygen, but it just makes the place look nice and healthy and alive. And because I'm not great with plants, I did get they're called like tapestries. So I got some tapestries that I put up in certain places of, like a street in Venice or something with nice flowers and vines, or making it look, you know, like a nice background in a sense, and getting rid of just the gray walls and white walls and things that are tired looking after a while. And so I did get some. I've got one tapestry that's New York skyline, so that's like in my room, and then you go out, and then there's Venice, you know, basically background, and then another one of just like a garden and vines and nice floral look. And again, even though I'm a guy,
Hmm.
it's still soothing. It's nothing, you know, wrong with having things that are appealing and stuff like that as a guy. And definitely the diffuser in my old place, we use diffuser pretty often. And definitely when you put certain smells in there, you close your eyes and it transports you to a whole other place. And it's just like when you walk in and you smell grandma's cooking, or fresh baked cookies or whatever. It just, those aromas can open up the mind and help us
Right.
relax and help us,
Right.
you know do a lot of things. So
Yeah.
I agree with all that.
Great. I have several questions, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Um, we're going to go for the wardrobe and accessories. Jean, what does your closet look like?
My
Anything
closet.
old from 1970?
You know what? I'm going to tell the honest truth. If I do have something from 1970, I try to. Well, nothing, but I do. I have stuff. Some of the stuff has a little time on it, but I know how to. You have to know how to dress. You have to look in the mirror
Hmm.
uh, to make yourself, to understand yourself and know what fits you, so you'll feel bold when you go out. And I do have things that are pretty old, but they're timeless pieces. Usually when I shop, I try to find something. Well, can I wear this in like 10 years? And I'll look it up, put it on, and I do have pieces that I wore that people, oh, that looks nice on you, and I'm thinking, I've had this for 10 years. you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I do have pieces like that, but also I do keep up. I'm 71 years old right now, but
Hmm.
I have to find things that I don't want to look like a kid on a skateboard, or some guy that's in his 30s that's trying to. So I find things that are that complement me
Hmm.
and my age range, because
How tall are you, Jean? Are you a tall man?
no, I'm not tall. I'm only 6 foot, six
Oh,
foot
a
even.
6 foot. Yeah. Well, for our audience, both bachelors are 6 feet tall. And right. So, two bachelors we have tonight, we get to know what they have in their closets and everything. So, ladies, just pay attention to all of this. When you haven't worn something in 5 years and it doesn't make you smile, it's time to thank it and let it go. Make space for the bold version of you. That's ready, to be seen. Now, very quickly, I want to interject people that are a little on the heavy side, and I was heavy on the little heavy side for almost 20 years, and that's a whole nother story. So, and then I started doing something about it, and it started to work, and everything's a long process. And now I have a double closet. When you open up the doors, everything is very, very nice and neat and packed in there. All the shoes are in their boxes. So I have nice shoes, boots, everything, nice dress boots, everything. So they look like brand new. They're clean, brand new. The bottom line is when you're on the heavy side, you don't have much choice. So, yes,
Mm.
I always wanted to lose weight, and that's why I didn't buy anything, and I never lost any weight. So, of course, your wardrobe is limited, but that's all going to change now. So, that doesn't mean I'm going to throw everything out at once. No, I'm going to have to make do with what I have. Um, till the moment comes because I know exactly what I want and the clothing that the way I want to look, the elegant look, you just don't buy that at Walmart's or, at Target or wherever. You don't do that. So you got to go into a boutique that has a certain style. It doesn't mean that it has to be a designer style, but since I know exactly what looks good on me, that's what I'm going to have to look for. So I'm limited in my closet right now, but as we're going down more in weight, we can look at some very nice blouses with blue jeans and a nice shoe and this, that, and the other. So I'll make do. But um, years ago, when I was in my 30s, I had a wardrobe. But when you're nice and slender, when you're your normal weight, you can slip into anything. You can buy clothing off the hanger and it fits. So
That's
that's how it was with me, whether it was bras or pants. I never had to hem the pants, nothing. So, but the ideal weight, I'm not there quite yet, but I will be soon. And I'll keep you abreast on that. But that's my situation in my closet, and that's going to change. But I'm starting to wear accessories. I love necklaces and especially custom jewelry. That just makes me feel good. So I have quite a few of that, and I'm starting to really, use them. How about you, very quickly, Robert? How's it with you?
Because I work at home and don't really ever see anybody, my wardrobe is pretty much jeans and then either t-shirts or a few dress shirts for when I have to get on camera or something. But I try to keep my wardrobe easy and low maintenance. And in the past, I used to buy bolder styles or shirts or whatnot. And, but as I've gotten older, it's, t-shirts and then, some nice regular collared shirts and then dress shirts. So, but stick to basic colors and just try to have something that looks nice.
Right. And what are your basic colors? Would you mind sharing that with us?
Mostly gray, black,
Mhm.
blue, sometimes a purple or a tan, and I've got a nice rust color dress shirt that everybody says looks really good, especially when paired with like a forest green suit or jacket or something. So, but tend to stay away from yellows and reds and
Yeah,
too
yellow, and
bright
I'm looking at your
colors.
picture right now. Yellow doesn't do anything for you. So,
No.
but purple, yes. Or
Hmm.
with you, darker colors look good. I can see you in a
Yeah.
Harrods green, and you look very distinguished.
Hmm.
Everybody knows the Harrods green color, right? That
Hmm.
particular color that would look very, very good on you. Also, a very nice orange, and not so much white in the orange.
Right.
More brown in the orange. See, we're going into the feeling of a color. And
Right.
I enjoy talking about that. How about you? Gray is good too. Gray is not
Hmm.
very nice too. How about you, Jean? Do you wear tailored? What colors do you like?
I like I like masculine colors. I step out. I get bold every once in a while and put on something bright. I do have a light gold like I guess it's like a casual shirt you wear with jeans or you can dress with it. I do have a yellow one.
Hmm.
Yellow looks it looks good on me because my skin is very dark brown. So when I wear a yellow it kind of pops out. But I like earth tones. I like grays, every shade of gray. I like black. Same thing, most things men like. Browns, a lot of earth tones.
Hmm.
And I like flashy things, but very modest flashy, just to make whatever I wear pop. Nothing that's like, over brilliant. Um,
Right.
I like suits. I have suits because I categorize my closet to my lifestyle. I have like a bunch of I go to the gym, so I have like about maybe 20 like workout sweatpants and t-shirts and shoes that I coordinate together. And
Mm-hmm.
then I have casual, I have jeans, different styles of jeans, with shoes that go with that type of dress, and just regular uh, t-shirts or button ups. And then I'll have my clothes for, going out or whatever. Uh, Black pants, gold, brown, gray, um, mostly earth tones. And then I'll have like my suits. I have suits that I wear for like special occasions. I only have like right now like 4 or 5 suits, different colors for different occasions.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to get loud sometimes, but not that often. My dress is kind of colorized, is kind of modest.
Mm-hmm.
But I
That's
like it because it fits my, you have to do what fits your personality, and it's gonna
exactly.
come from your mood, you know?
Exactly. And what I like to also that's on your website, Gene Thompson, ThompsonSolutions.com, that tailored gray shirt. That looks exquisite. And I love that when I first met you and you gave me that picture. Um,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely elegance. And I go for elegant styles.
Okay.
So, but let me tell you quickly about my elegant style. I'm very impressed that you have matching shoes to go to the gym and all these outfits
Yeah.
for the gym.
Yes.
Well, I tell you, I have a treadmill right here in my house, and all I
Very
do,
good.
I put my walking shoes on, and what I have on then varies. And let's just keep it at that. I could never step out of the house with what I'm wearing. So I'm wearing something. It's not that I'm not wearing anything. That's what I'm trying to say. But I
Yeah.
don't need to look elegant. I just do my time on the treadmill and I feel good and I get off the treadmill and nobody sees me. And I'm still, I still did it. So I don't need to look glamorous for that. So
Oh,
so, but let me go for a quick break and we'll be right back from our sponsor. Bold isn't reckless, it's real. Real living, real change, real you. Join us at kmaraeducation.org. Also, playing small, that's over. Your bold life starts now. Listening, Gene? Your bold life starts now. kmaraeducation.org. We guide you, we grow. And their phone number is 203-505-3660. You're listening to Life Talk with Marietta. I have two bachelors with me tonight. Robert Adamo, he's here in Connecticut, and Gene Thompson is out in Los Angeles, California. So, and we get to find out what they're eating, what their closets look like. Hey, you just never know. Let's go and address the food. Can food really impact how bold we feel, Gene?
absolutely. There's been studies on that, how different types of food you eat, it affects your very mood. It affects your hormones in your body. Um, and it affects how you feel after you eaten it.
Mm.
Um, oh, food is very, very important for life. When I was younger, I ate all kinds of trash, anything that I wanted to eat. McDonald's, candy bars, potato chips, all that kind of stuff. But when I got into my 30s, I think I told you guys, I think on the last show we did, I had like an emergency in my life, where the doctor said, "Oh, you got problems with your brain."
No,
So
you didn't tell us that.
I after
Robert, do you
oh
remember that? No.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, I didn't. I thought I did tell you guys about the
No,
whole thing with
I would have
multiple
remembered
sclerosis.
that. No, and I didn't hear it on the show.
Oh, okay. Well, it must have been someone else. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, when I got to that point in my life, I said, "Oh, I got to change," and I changed my whole diet. I became vegan for about had to be a couple of years until I could heal my body. And at that point, I realized I went back to eating meat, but I had to heal myself first. And then I realized how important food is to the healing of your body and the way your brain works and how you think, even. So
Mm-hmm.
now my diet is I eat food that's catered to my lifestyle, that's healthy. And everyone has their own methods of eating, what type of foods they need for what type of
Right.
jobs they have, what they need for brain function or whatever. But very briefly, I eat a lot of green vegetables now. And it gives me green vegetables, dark leafy green vegetables, and colored vegetables like red cabbage or whatever. It gives you a lot of mental clarity and energy. So I
Mm.
eat those. And it's a blood cleanser, and it also removes cholesterol from your body. So I eat a lot of green. I eat a lot of nuts. Good nuts though. I don't eat like macadamia and the other nuts that are like full of really fats. But I eat the ones that control cholesterol. Um, the ones that are good for hormone balance.
Can you
And
name some of it? Can you name that are good for cholesterol? Nuts good for cholesterol? Can you name
oh,
that? Can you give me the?
okay, I'll give you a good one. And a lot of times you'll get signs from nature. Like think of the walnut. The walnut is good for the brain, is good for the heart, and it's also good for cholesterol, lowering cholesterol. Now, think of what the walnut looks like when you crack it open. It looks not just like, but it kind of mimics the human brain if you look like it. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times you can look at foods and you can tell what they're made for in the body. So there's different nuts that has selenium, which is pumpkin seeds. Males need that. Men, if you're out there listening, you need like pumpkin seeds, and um, pistachio nuts are good for that. Also for women because it helps balance hormones. I eat fruits, but not a whole lot of fruit because it has sugar. I may eat one piece or two pieces a day tops, because fruit is really good. It has the right vitamins and minerals to balance your body. Um, I eat. I'm going to tell you, I love fried food, but I don't eat them a whole lot because I know what they can do. They can damage your body because of the oils, and that's another thing. Oils, if you can. At least I do. My diet consists of either avocado oil or olive oil. All the other seed oils, I found out they were really bad. I noticed when I stopped eating them, my joints stopped hurting.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I had more mobility. Um, I didn't have like the back of my knee would swell. I would have knee swelling but after I cut out all those seed oils like canola oil and what's the other one? Soy oils and all it
Mm-hmm.
went away. It all went away. So I watched the oils that I eat. Um, I don't eat oatmeal because oatmeal is good for you, but for some reason it puts belly fat on me. The first place it goes is to my belly,
Mm-hmm.
and I love oatmeal, but I can't eat it anymore. So I don't eat too many grains. I eat bread, but very little bread. I only eat bread when it's necessary, when I need the energy. Um, because I realized from being ill how important food is and how our bodies are so balanced with diet, and
Mm-hmm.
how we have to eat certain things to maintain our health, our mental health, and longevity in life. And this is another thing I learned, and I'm going to shut up after this.
Mm-hmm.
Everything virtually that man has touched and augmented from the natural way it came from the ground is bad for you. All corporations with the potato chips and all the oils and all the frozen food and the canned food, all that stuff, your body, it's been altered so your body doesn't. It takes a while to understand it, and if it doesn't, it stores it as disease or as fat. But if you
Mm-hmm.
eat something, and I know everyone can't do that, but if you can eat something the closest to the way God made it, if you get an apple that's non-GMO or whatever, eat that apple. It's going to do your body better. One more thing is they did a study and they found out that the fruits and vegetables we eat now, you'd have to eat one apple, one orange. I mean, you'd have to eat 10 to 15 of those fruits to get the same nutritional value that you got in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So who
Wow.
wants to eating that? So, and that's another thing. I got to go. One more thing. You got to supplement. I supplement every day. I take my vitamin A, my B complex. I take my minerals. I get all the vitamins that your body needs daily to get through that day without diminishing the cells, because the cells will start breaking down if they don't have the right nutrients to recreate for the next day when you go to bed at night, when your body starts producing the hormones.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really meticulous about that now. But like I said, I do go off the rails sometimes. I'll eat potato salad and barbecued ribs, but then I'll wake up and go, wait a minute, that's only for today. You can't do that anymore. So I'll go back to my diet. But diet is very important, because if you don't have the right diet, you're not going to be as bold as you feel. You're going to start feeling a certain way, and you don't know why you feel like that. But it's the
Yes,
food. So if you want to have
yes,
that boldness, good
a-
diet.
absolutely. And when we listen to our gut
Uh-huh.
speaks to us every single day. Our gut speaks to us when we have certain foods that we eat. I listen to that because
Yes.
many times my gut is very unhappy,
Mm,
extremely unhappy. And then I got to
mm.
really listen to it. And I do listen to it. And that's all I want to say. But I want one more question about with the food. Do you buy the whole walnuts and you crack them open, Jean, or they already opened in a package, the walnuts?
Mm. The ones that I buy whole, raw, organic walnuts, or any type of nuts that I can get. Because to be honest, I hate unshelling anything. I hate unshelling pumpkin seeds, Brazil, anything. So I buy everything that I buy. It's already deshelled and in the bag and ready to eat. you know. But if you do get the shell ones, they're probably even more better for you because they haven't been corrupted by air yet. So if you break that open, the nutritional value is probably going to be better. But I'm just too lazy.
Yeah, I'll look for them tomorrow. I have to go to the food store anyway
Yeah.
tomorrow. Robert, I'm going to spare you. We're not going to ask you what food you're eating only because of times, but let's get into the belief system that needs a boost. So there are days when we just don't feel bold. We gain weight, we worry about the new wrinkles on our face or the softness in our belly. We avoid mirrors, we disconnect, and it's okay. That doesn't mean we have failed. It means we're human. So, what what would you say to a person that has lost touch with themselves? That does happen more often than people want to admit. They're losing touch with themselves because they worry about other people. They don't take enough time for themselves. They have whatever the situation is. So, what would you say to that when somebody's out of touch with themselves?
Well, to be able to live bold and to, whether it's to help others or just work with others or just be successful, you have to take care of yourself first. And I,
Mhm.
I agree with Gina 100% on the food aspect of it, because the diet does control our mood, our behavior, all these regulates all these things that we just kind of take for granted. But if you're feeling down and low and sluggish, it's probably because you're not eating properly. Personally, I'm a high protein diet kind of person, but I could definitely use more leafy greens and nuts and all that kind of stuff, like Gene was speaking about. But I know for me, after I finish a nice steak and potato dinner,
Uh-huh.
I'm ready to go. I've got lots of protein, I've got lots of energy, my brain is fueled up, and I'm ready to do things. And so diet is definitely a key. And then, also what Gene mentioned earlier about failure, we can't let failure be the thing that brings us down. We have to flip that script and use failure to learn lessons from and to figure out, okay, well, that wasn't the right way. What is the right way? And try something else. And as long as you're not looking at as failure, but more as just learning lessons, then you can turn those lessons into success by, not repeating the failure part, but going back to the drawing board and trying it again in a different way. And again, having, you know, all the things we've talked about tonight. You want to wake up, get refreshed, take a good shower, wake up and have the house clean so that part's organized. Then your mind and body is more organized and not cluttered. And then if you eat right on top of that, then you're going to be fueled to take on the day. And if you don't look at failure or negative things in a negative way, but turn them around into some kind of positive way, then mentally you could take on those challenges a lot easier. And even when things don't go your way or they don't work as perfectly as you want, you could say, that's okay. We're going to do this next, and we're going to adjust and pivot to something else that might work better. And you just have to keep trying. You can't just have a bad day and then give up on life. You have to keep trying.
Right, but it's also very important because to me, when somebody lost touch with themselves, could mean a lot of things. It could mean that they had a moment in time when they lost a loved one or went through a divorce or lost a job, and then they just let everything just go. They start eating like crazy. They start drinking like crazy. They smoke. In other words, the boundaries that they had for themselves are no longer there. And then, of course, the floodgates come in. So it can be applied, what I'm saying, to just about any situations. And when it gets to be normal, that behavior, that's bad. So, and then you lose touch with yourself, and to get back on track, then that's very, very hard. Very, very hard. So, the mind doesn't want it. Let's say somebody who's overweight, and all of a sudden you tell them, well, they should change. It's very, very hard. And and I've done this. You got to place yourself in an environment where they talk about good food and good nourishment and this, that, and the other. Whether you listen to CDs, join a group, or whatever, or talk to us, first you need, because you're stuck. You're really, really stuck. And you need to hear it over and over again. And at some point, it's going to pop. It's going to pop because you see people in the group, they're losing weight, they're starting to wear nice clothes, and so forth. Oh, if they can do it, I can do it. So that's a whole nother show. When people lose touch with themselves, well, you should really consider that, doing a separate show on this. I went through it. And then you have fallbacks, and that's okay too. So it's a yo-yo thing. It's all okay. And then until you find the right thing, the right food to eat, and you're losing weight. And I found very quickly, because we're almost out of time, I found intermittent fasting works for me like a charm. And I got myself so mentally so psyched up. I was so strong. I think I lost 35 pounds without any shots, just intermittent fasting. And my body loves to be finished eating every day by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And that was the rhythm I held for 6 or 8 months, something like that, just intermittent fasting. So, then you lose that mental strength. Then it's like, okay, it's like water on a Kleenex. It just soaks right through and it's gone. That mental strength that you had for all this time, holding on and really making sure that you would adhere to it, but your body feels so great. When you go to bed, you have no indigestions, nothing. Your body feels wonderful. That is a very good way for me to go. But I'm on Ozempic right now. And yes, I do have a slight cholesterol elevation. And of course, I got pills for it. I didn't ask for it. Haven't taken one yet. I hate to take pills. I'm not a pill person. When you go to the doctor, they always want to, she always does. So I said, anyway, I don't want to get into it and take the time, but losing touch with yourself, that's a whole show, maybe a series too. It's just so, has so many facets. So exercise, of course, helps all of us. And I'm sure Jean really is into it. When I move my body just 15 minutes a day on the treadmill, I feel wonderful. I feel absolutely wonderful. And I go on this board to correct my spine. It's a posture board, it's called. I'm very, very happy. So, and the body doesn't speak, oh my God, squeaking almost for pain. Squeak, you hear squeaks, my body I'm
Yes.
talking about. So I'm happy about that I'm doing it. And I don't need to look glamorous to have um, a fancy shirt on or whatever. But good shoes, I put my good shoes on, my good walking shoes that I have to have. I'm not walking barefoot on the treadmill. I'm not stupid. So anyway, we're almost out of time. And to live bold at any age is to ask, am I showing up as who I really am or who I think I should be? I got to think about
Mm-hmm.
that. Not right this minute, but I want to think about that one. So every room you enter, every outfit you wear, every bite you take, every word you speak, it's all part of your legacy. Don't let age be your excuse. Let it be your permission. All right. Well, gentlemen, you did an outstanding job. We know what your place looks like. Oh, I forgot to ask you, what does your refrigerator look like, Gene? And then Robert, I need to know what your refrigerator looks like.
Very quickly, my refrigerator is mixed. My granddaughter has teenage stuff in there that they eat. I keep her other things in there. And my daughter has the type of thing she wants. But my part of the refrigerator, you heard it earlier, I have tomatoes and cucumbers and cabbage and a green mixed in there and my salad dressing that I make and just stuff like that, fruit. And that's
I
about
make
what.
I make my own salad dressing too. And I use honey and two different kinds of vinegars, olive oil, mustard, salt and pepper,
Sounds
garlic powder. And I always make it fresh. And you know what I do? I always have salads
hmm
in glass jars, in the at
Okay.
least six of them, the size of a tomato jar. That's how tall they are. They're like the size of they're really good glass jars that I bought, and I always have something to to take, and that's
hmm
important. To be ready and prepared, and to have the salad dressing and a little bit of meat or fish or whatever. How about you, Robert? What does your refrigerator look like?
Uh, it's got all the goodies in there. It's mostly filled with drinks. Drinks most of the time because I have to stay hydrated. So I've got juices and some B8 energy drinks and breakfast drinks and protein drinks, and so like six different kinds of drinks depending on the mood or the time of day. And then, bacon, eggs, whatever else I might have in there, and um, the sauces and all the stuff to cook all the stuff that I want to cook. But for the most part, I'll if I order food, I'll eat half of it because the portions these days are so big from or when you order out and stuff. But I'll just put half in there for later. So sometimes you'll see styrofoam cartons in there from takeout, but we eat that the next day and just keep it moving. So
I love
um,
it, and especially
mhm,
on weekends. I like, and I haven't eaten that in years. French toast, doing your own French
mhm,
toast,
mhm,
Yeah.
and then nice bacon, a good
mhm,
cup of coffee, with a half and half cream, nice jam. I love jams, and especially the tip tree marmalade, Wilkins,
mhm,
the English marmalade. I
mhm,
love it. It's sold on Amazon. It's
Mhm.
really good stuff. And also good butter. I love the Kerrygold butter, the Irish butter. I love that. And I use very little butter in general. So to sit down and to really fix something, I haven't done that in a long time. To fix something with love, prepare it for yourself with love, and sit at the table. Sit at the table. That's not happening here too much. Let me tell you,
mhm,
I'm guilty of that. And but I really enjoy that. Uh, really, I would never fry bacon during the week. I don't have time for that. But on weekends, to go through a ritual and really do the table nice and just like you're having a guest, which is you
mhm,
yourself. You're the guest,
Oh,
right?
Nice.
I should try that. This just popped into my head. I have never done that. Be me as a guest. I'm going to
You
try
would
it.
love it.
Yeah, I'm going to
Wow.
try it. So, but anyway, so thank you for tonight. I really appreciate it. It was a different show. I loved it. So, our lady audience, they can really, oh, these guys are on the ball. They really just that. Yeah, we have to be on the ball because we're self-sufficient. Nobody gives us anything.
Absolutely.
Nobody fixes anything for
Absolutely.
us. So, hey, it's either, fixing it or starving or we can't, whatever. You'll get it. Anyway, Jean, thank you for being with us tonight. Robert, as always, thank you so much. And I know this show, we should have some series on that one when people lose themselves. That happens so many times through grief and everything. So anyway, till next time, I'm Marietta Kammer, and thank you for listening. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Mariana.